G'day Bomber fans. So I had a couple of comments asking for AFLW round reviews, so I figured I would churn out some AFLW related content every few weeks, seeing as I've been watching it as closely as I watch the men, and seeing as they are showing a lot more fight than the blokes as well at the moment. So here is a quick recap of rounds 1, 2 and 3 of the AFLW season. Round 1 against the Hawks, again like it was last year. This was a funny old game of footy really. We completely dominated them around the ground. I mean, we absolutely killed them around the ground. There was a point where the inside 50 count would have been around the 20 mark to just under a handful for them. We finished the game with 42 inside 50s to their 21, double the amount, but their conversion was much better. They scored 10 times from 21 entries. We scored just 14 times from 42 entries. So that's the worry for me. The fact we had them absolutely beat in almost every area of the game: disposals, efficiency, centre clearances, contested and uncontested possessions, marks. We made them look like a really poor team around the ground, but their defence held up well. The lack of real height there was on display. Bonnie Toogood is our best marking option due to her strength, but she is usually going to be beaten for size by those she plays on. In saying that, she was on an absolute tear, luckily. That's what we need in our AFL team, a Bonnie Toogood type player, and I think that's the big difference between Essendon and Hawthorn. Both young teams, but our best players are miles ahead of theirs. Prespakis was playing with her own football. Alexander and Nanscorn were on. I couldn't even say who their best player was, to be honest. No one really threatened to take the game away from us. It was always being played in our favour. The main worry was the fact we looked so unlikely to score going inside 50. We trailed at halftime despite having so much more territory. We really only won because of how well we managed to win the one-on-one contest. We were much tougher and stronger, and it meant we could have the ball where we wanted it. Really, we should have won this by so much more. 19 points as a margin favours Hawthorn. I should say their defence was impressive, and their ability to rebound effectively and score when they had the ball in their attacking 50 shows they could be a dangerous team if they manage to effectively manage their engine room, but ours was just on top. We are going to be a tough team to beat if we keep playing like that, and more importantly, score more often from our entries. Efficiency going inside 50 and efficiency in front of goals. On to the votes. 1 to Steph Kane. Her defensive pressure was awesome and her usage was really good going forward. Van der Heuvel was our best defender. Nanscorn in her first game for the club, and since her knee reconstruction, was brilliant. She gets 3 votes. Prespakis unlucky not to get the maximum amount because Bonnie Toogood was just that, too good. 20 plus disposals and 2 goals. Awesome performance. On to our second game, Essendon against the Saints at Windy Hill on a Sunday afternoon. How good is that? Great crowd in as well. It was good to see, and all the AFL boys packed it out to see the girls get up against the Saints. It was a bit closer than desired though. We only just scraped past the struggling Saints, but it was a fun game of footy. This was a really defensive match, spent mostly between the arcs. It was really scrappy to begin with. The first half in particular was all about gaining territory, repeat stoppages, getting the ball 10 to 20 metres closer to goal. It wasn't pretty to watch, but the game really opened up and we saw high transition, classier play. We saw the wingers and flankers involved more. It probably favoured us a bit because we are just a generally more classy team with ball in hand, but either way it was being played, we were just that step ahead. But there was always that lingering possibility of them finding their way back in, as seen by the 2-goal winning margin. It wasn't an easy win. Late in the piece, we went into game-saving mode. There weren't really any scores at all in that last quarter, I don't think. It really was just us trying to throw numbers back to make sure St Kilda couldn't score, and it worked. It would have been frustrating for Saints fans, and I think that's the major improvement between rounds 1 and 2, how well we defended entries against St Kilda. We looked incapable of doing it in round 1, and in round 2 we were really solid brick wall defence. It was also really impressive to see how much more efficient we were when we entered our 50. Only a handful more inside 50s, but we had almost double the amount of marks in our zone than they did. So really the game was about efficiency both in defence and attack. The contest was so even. It was our class up forward and our defence down back that made the difference, something that may not have been the case last year. Both Brooks down back were huge, the new recruits, Bush and Van der Heuvel as well. It was a really solid back 6 or 5, which you would not have seen last year. We averaged 29 points against right now, which at the stage of this game, which is a good amount if you want to mount a finals push. We look to be doing the right thing now. On to votes from the Saints game. Bonnie Toogood was really solid. Great presence up forward to earn a vote. Brooke Brown was crucial down back along with Brooke Walker. They get 2 and 3 votes respectively. Prespakis gets 4, but it was Georgia G's influence going forward with the ball, her run and carry and work rate. She gets 5 votes. And our final match in this period, we travelled down to Adelaide, the toughest road trip in the AFLW. I actually attended this game. The vibes are high early. We got off to a fast start to silence the local crowd, led at quarter time against the Crows, but it wouldn't last long. We were eventually overrun by a frankly much better team than us. We were unfortunately smashed. I think this was a good learning curve though. This was an important game to get out of the way early. We won our first 2 fairly comfortably, all things considered, and I think we wanted to know how good we were as a team against the best. This showed us we are a fair way off the pace still. We have have a fairly fit team, close to full strength, on a good run of form, but we were shown up. We were given a little bit of a reality check. There is a lot of work to do still. This game shows we probably won't be up the top this season, but we are still in the finals hunt. The Crows were just much better at the contest. They beat us at our strength. They were really hot around stoppages and made our midfielders work harder than they have in a long time. Our best players had their influences nullified a little bit, and our strong defense was under the pump all day. We had so much of the pill in our defensive half, and we were so poor going forward with it. It was really frustrating because we weren't even playing well. The difference between us rebounding and them rebounding was frustrating as a fan. Really, this was just a case of the better team getting what they deserved. You look at the numbers, we had more clearances, more stoppage clearances, not much less of the pill, but it's the way they won the footy in crucial areas that we didn't have. They won crucial one-on-ones. They halved contests if they couldn't win them. It was a really mature and cutthroat performance from a better team. I think we will take a lot away from this loss. Not too many positives, but it's good to play teams like this early so we can highlight what we need to work on to beat the best. On to the votes for the Crows game. Steph Wales worked hard in the ruck, and Nanscorn continued her good start to life in the AFLW. Pressparkers is also on fire, third week in the votes. Bonnie Too Good has matched that as well. Both of them have featured in the votes in every game this year. And Brooke Brown, rebounding out of defence, gets my 5 votes. She has also had a great start to the year. Let's go through the overall tally, top 10, or top 9, because there's only 9 to have received votes. Wales and Kane have just the 1 vote. Van der Heuvel has 2. Walker has the 3 votes from that Saints game. Georgia G and Nanscorn have 5 each to enter the top 5. Brooke Brown is third though. She has been excellent, and Too Good and Pressparkers, the clear standouts in my opinion. They are at the top. Maddie P leading Bonnie T by just 1 vote. So at the end of round 3, we sit 10th on the ladder, familiar spot. We lost a hefty chunk of percentage with that Adelaide defeat, and we have some important games coming up. Fremantle at home, who are 7th, Collingwood, who are below us, and then the Cats, who have been playing pretty good footy as well. So a big few weeks for the Bombers to see where we sit as a club. But that is that, a quick little AFLW video. Like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you are new, and let me know if you want to see these videos more frequently or if there are any other video ideas you want. But that's all. Cheers, Bomber fans.